stuff there, but never mind that. We're here to talk about Cat and how Cat licks her keyboard. But
I personally not usually no.
No, it's not something I do either. But I'm thinking about doing that now. So, folks, if anyone's wondering who on earth is Cat Santanna, or the last of Cat, Cat, you're just gonna have to witness this bit of PR stuff that I've written about you. So, Cat Santanna released debut solo album, and yours truly has gone through to do the review for it. Released on New Year's Day of 2026, Same But Different is the debut album of Cat Santanna and features 8 unique storytelling-like productions from Cat and provides the listener with a perspective of sounds directed and composed by Cat Santanna. The album is not only a bunch of tracks of her sounds, but a telling tale of her background, her present and future, with the end track titled Lift Off, which is very telling. Now, first of all, before we get into some of the bits of, or to ask you a bunch of questions regarding the album, some things that I will say just based off your album, which I will get to now, is my first point, which I wrote as my note, Get 'Em High sounds similar to a Disclosure production. I'm going to put it out there and say that. My second point, piano compositions are excellent, very free-flowing. I did write this ages ago when you sent me the link, so this is based off memory here. Point number 3, this is really technical now, but synth in track 3 is great, I put. Point 4, bass and dub sounds in Githwale and Nobody is great. Point number 5, Nobody reminds me of a Bicep/Fred Again production. And then point number 6, love how Lift Off ends. But I'm going to come to you now, actually, based on they were basically my first impressions of the album that when I first listened to it. But point number 1, Get 'Em High sounds similar to a Disclosure production. Was that what you were going for?
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah,
100%.
I mean, when I started the song, it was more like I was trying to do, sampling in a Daft Punk way, like One More Time and stuff like that. But as I did the song, and like I'm producing in the box, like on my computer only, so I had to resort to some references, and yeah, Disclosure was definitely there. And even the arrangement, because it was a bit tricky to do. So yeah, but that's a great compliment, I think. Disclosure is great, so yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, if you are going to ever do any PR for it, you can sort of take that away and use that as well. And as mentioned as well, Nobody reminds me of a Bicep/Fred Again production. Again, which could you say that's what you were going for, or have I missed it there?
No, that's yeah, those were the influences. I like a lot of British producers, so yeah, all of them I was getting inspired from. Bicep, definitely, I've heard that before.
Yeah. And hey, I mean, they are extremely popular for a reason, because everyone likes that type of music. So I think you're hitting the nail on the head there straight away. I'm going to get into some of the cues of the album as well, because the thing is, I think nowadays, in my opinion, especially when it comes to making music and releasing music, is that I think because we're in a sort of a generational period now where content is like this, like it's constantly bang, 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 bang. And if you go onto any music platform, Beatport, Spotify, or whatever, there's literally music coming out literally like every 5 minutes, and it's a lot of content, right? And I think the main thing I would take away from of this sort of realization, I guess, is that obviously when it comes to making an album, it's not like I'm going to do this and this and this and this and this, and there you go, everyone, it's all done, right? So it's not that straightforward, and it's a rat pain in the arse, is sounding like a rat Brit right now, but it's a rat pain in the arse to come together. But my first question to you: how much time passes whilst listening to the whole album in terms of how long each track took to make, and when were they produced from start to finish?
Good question. Um, to be honest, I decided to make it an album like around May 2025. I
Okay.
had so many ideas, um, unfinished, some, more finished than others. Some of those songs, I had them sitting around for like 2 years, and I don't know, I just didn't know what to do with them. So I would say the writing process, I just really sat down for 2 months, chose all the ideas, even old ones that I already had that
Mm.
initially they were not meant to be in an album, um, and decided, okay, I like these ones, and I'm gonna make them into full songs. But with that, sometimes you just want to make something new. So a couple of those songs just happen very last minute as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, it's really. I will say, my initial thought, and I don't know whether this was right, but your first song and your last song,
Mm.
I had this thought that you sort of made it in one project, and it's
Yeah.
one thing, and you've just split it and put it as the first and ending, like outro and intro
Yeah.
and outro. Is that right?
Um, they're actually
Or
on separate
no
projects,
way.
but they are the same basis, the same idea,
Mm.
and that's probably the song that I had sitting around for the longest because I had like the piano melody, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it in an
Mm.
intro, and then it would be the second track. But then the way I produced it, I was like, no, maybe it'll be the last track, and then they are like you said, an intro and an outro basically. But they are based off the same ideas. Yeah.
I see. Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, like you've mentioned, obviously, you mentioned that some of the tracks had been sitting around in that computer of yours for like 2 years, and then
Yeah.
obviously, you've made that decision to include them in the album. What made you decide? What made you decide the album track list structure? Because a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people know that like quite a bit of structure
Yeah.
it goes into it. It's not just random, is it? Usually, right?
Yeah. I'd say, to be honest, there's only 8 tracks. Only there's 8 tracks in the album. I was aiming for like at least 11, so some
Ah,
thought goes into it, like, making sure that these songs belong in the same project, because there were other songs I wanted to finish and release, but like, do they go well with everything else? I felt
mm,
like these tracks kind of made sense altogether. I think they're all kind of modern production. They're all, you can tell there's like clear influences for all of them, and the structure was, yeah, I had like I listened to them 20 times, trying
mm,
to see what goes well, what flows into one another. I knew the intro and the outro had to be that way when I wrote them.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. If I was to hear this like before you were releasing it, I probably would have said the same. Like, it's got to be. I think it's whatever I want first and lift off last,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's kind of fun as well. Like Lift Off, you think is the first song, but it's actually the last one, because
Mm.
it was kind of like, oh, I made the project and it's kind of a lift off. Um, yeah, that was the idea behind it. Yeah.
Yeah, and very interesting as well, especially because I mean, actually, I think I had the perfect conditions to listen to this because I was on a train going. Oh, I forget where I was going now, but I essentially it was just one of those moments where I sat down, I had nothing else to do, I was on a train, and I just from start to finish, just listen to the whole album just whilst glancing out the window. And like, when you sort of like you are present, but you're not really. You sort of,
Yeah,
you sort of go into a daydream thing. And I think that's just perfect for listening to an album from start to finish. Same
I agree.
with
I agree.
same with mixes as well. I'm going to give you a real technical question now. It doesn't involve math, so don't worry.
Okay.
Uh,
Cool.
as I mentioned in one of my feedback points, is that the synth in track 3, which is called "There for You," um, absolutely love the synth in that. Can you tell? all of us music producers out there listening and watching, what exactly is the synth that is used in track 3? Do you know which one it is?
Yeah, it's just Serum 2 and a
Yeah,
basic sine
new
wave.
serum.
It's actually there's this guy. I think he got viral end of last year. It's called Oscar Medkay, and he made a track that had a sound like that. So I tried to
Mm,
make a sound like that, and I based my track basically referenced of him. Like I was like, this is really cool. I want to make one as well.
mm.
So the synth is inspired by his track, which I forget the name of now. Um, but it's meant to be like a Moog sound, basically. Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, but it's just a sine wave with a filter. So
Hey,
in Theorem 2, yeah,
sometimes that's all that's needed. Do you know what I
yeah,
mean? And hey, let's just say, if chain smokers, if you're watching this, this is how you lend an idea or something, but we don't go off and actually rip something off, have it as an unofficial remix, and then give it to your DSPs, right?
yeah.
Muy mal for that, I'll say.
Actually,
Um,
if I may, I actually I am releasing videos on YouTube about the production of each track, and I just released the production for that track. So if anybody wants to see how the synth is made, I literally open Serum and show it. So yeah,
well, the let's just perfect time to say this. The cat's out the bag now. Everyone's gonna know. Way.
yeah,
God, that was going to happen at some point, wasn't it? So,
yeah.
but yes, and we're going to we will mention your YouTube channel towards the end as well. But hey, well, isn't that a perfect little advert for you as well, folks? You music producers out there, let's not be mucking around now. Let's get over there and have a look at that synth and see how that's made. And I might just use it as well.
By all
Anyway.
means.
Now, as mentioned earlier, obviously, when it comes to making an album, you have essentially got to the milestone, right, as a musical artist, where not many people have made an album. What occurred for you during this process that you didn't expect in terms of creating an album?
I thought that it would be a little more difficult than it was because prior to this, I've only done singles or EPs,
Mm,
and it always felt like all the songs needed to be perfect. Whereas with an album, I felt like, like it's obviously I want all the songs to be perfect still, but it's a bit more freeing because you're just writing and writing and writing, and then you just choose your favorites. And
mm.
I think that works better for me. I wasn't expecting it. I thought like, oh, this is going to be a lot of work, and I'm not going to do another album for 5 years. And that I am actually like already looking forward to the next one.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah.
more sense. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is I think this is what the fascinating thing is about when people are making music is that because sometimes ideas and what you want to do with an album, it just clicks. It just
Yeah,
like it's almost like Lego. It's like there it all is. It just lands beautifully. But then there can be some right buggers
yeah,
of tracks where you have absolutely no idea either what to do with it, where to put it, or where when you're going to release it or whatever. It's like yeah. But very interesting insight into that as well. And speaking of album, um, is the album really the last of Cat, or is it the beginning of something else?
I think it's the beginning. Yeah,
Mm,
this is not my last album by all means.
you
Yeah,
see, like, and because of course, people might come across you like going, "Oh God, the last of Cat." Like, I've just come across her. She's going to end soon. Bloody hell!
yeah, yeah. That's a good point. No, I think it's the last of Cat the project, as in because I've had other projects in the past, and I came to a point where I was like, if someone asks me, "Oh, what music do you do?" and I'm like, "Oh, I have this." I mean, I don't do anything else with it anymore, but this is what I have, and then this other thing, and this other thing, and it's all
Hmm.
spread out, and it kind of makes it look like I haven't done much at all. So I thought from now on, whether I want to make electronic or whatever, I'll just use that account and just build upon it and build
Right.
a report. And it's like,
Without sounding harsh, you're describing a dumping ground of your music, basically.
yeah, yeah, exactly.
It's
Yeah.
one big online pit where all that stuff's gonna go, basically.
Well, I mean, if you had success with any project from before, and you grow up and you evolve, and personally and artistically, it's still going
Mm.
to be that project, even though maybe you started doing country music and now you're doing, I don't know, rock or EDM, I don't know. So like, people do that, right? Once they get a name for themselves. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And obviously we're going to continue the theme of music making, so to speak. But when it comes to putting tracks together, what track was easy and quick to put together, and then what was just an absolute nightmare to finish? I'm curious.
The easiest, I'd say, was track number 3 that you mentioned before with the synth. It's called There For You. That was
Hmm.
2 hours, maybe less. I was just like, dun dun dun, it's all done. And the most difficult, I would say, has to be Lift Off, because it did take 2 years, didn't it? So, um,
No way.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, hang on a second. So I had it down as my understanding of it being it took you 2 years just because you had it sat in your project for a long time. But did it actually take you like that long to actually put together?
Well, because when I started, I had a piano melody, and then I tried a couple different things arrangement wise,
Right.
and then I wasn't happy, and I put it to the side, and then I started writing other music, whatever. When I decided to make the album, I was listening to old projects. I came across that one. I was like, I have to do
Mm.
something with this. Like, I like it too much. And I'd say that was the last song I finished for the album as well. Like, arrangement wise, mixing wise, I was just overthinking it. And it's so funny because I don't think there's even like 20, there's maybe 20 to 30 audio tracks in it. Like, it's probably the least
In
complex.
in Liftoff?
Yeah,
Really?
it's so easy. Yeah, it's such an easy thing. Um,
What?
but I
There's
don't
there's
know.
20 to 30 sounds in there.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm
That's,
pretty sure it's super easy. Yeah,
oh my god, there's so many.
so many.
Shit. Yes. Bloody hell. I mean, yeah, damn. I tell you what, folks. Yeah, I mean, and that I'm gonna stress the point again. I swear, people just don't know how much effort people put into making music. We're talking about 30 sounds in one track, guys, girls. Like bloody hell, like that's absolutely mental.
But I mean that that's the simplest. That's one of the simplest. But sometimes you add audio tracks and it's just one sound or something. So
Mm,
it builds up pretty fast.
yeah.
But yeah,
So essentially, liftoff was the biggest pain in the ass to finish and get out the door,
but
essentially.
it's
But what
also my favorite. So
how ironic as well, that it's
yeah.
like the biggest pain in the ass to finish, but it's the one that you like the most. What was the one you say that was the easiest to put together?
There For You, the
Oh,
number
there
3.
for you. Ah, okay. What? Sorry, say again. What was that? 2 hours? Did you say?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
That is that. Now that's fast. What were you? Were you like against the clock or something?
No, I was just like, I made the synth sound and then I came up with some chords, and like I just sometimes you just think of something, you just do it right away. Um,
Mm.
and I added some basic drums on it, basic arrangement. I was like, this is okay. And then I went away for 5 minutes. I came back and I had some melodies to add as well. So yeah, it was pretty seamless, that one. And so many of the, apart from the main synth sound, so many of the other ones I already had from the other songs as well. So I tried to use similar synth sounds so that it all sounded kind of cohesive as a body of work.
So it was, yeah, and I guess that was one of those scenarios, if you like, where like I said earlier, everything just fell into place just like that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, if only all tracks were so easy to put together like that. Like, oh,
Yeah.
there you go, just works. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we gotta appreciate the minor moments in which this happens, and I've just full screen your artwork. 'Cause I'm quite curious about this as well for folks who are just listening. Very beautiful mirage of colors. There is that basically your head?
That is my head. Yeah.
Yes, it is. Excellent. No, well, I'm a big fan of the different choices of colors, and again, you know, like artwork for music. That's something else that just no one. Well, I'm assuming there will be people that appreciate it, but I don't think people realize how much of an effort people. Well, some people artists won't put that much effort into it, but that's something else you also have to consider artistically speaking, right, Kat?
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I think most people do put a lot of effort because when you write something, you always have this kind of vision for it. Just it needs to look good as well on the artwork, or if you make a
Yeah.
music video, like everything needs to go together. It can't be random.
Yeah, because and also the way you could the way sometimes I always think about artwork and and people have often used this as well, but say like for example, and I know what you're gonna say when I say this, but say if you have a vinyl of an album, I know what you're gonna say, so you stop it right there. If you have a vinyl of something of some really nice artwork, wink wink, you can, it looks amazing on a shelf or like in a cafe or in a bar, and that's the key thing, because the thing is, it's almost like it's like a print of a cultural product, and obviously if it is looking great, looking the part, it almost works as a piece of art that is, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, even if it's really abstract or really random, it can still be sort of judged as a piece of art, especially if the album becomes like iconic, for example, like the Nirvana album with the baby in the swimming pool. Like,
Yeah.
it sounds so random, but everyone knows it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not. That was. That, there's no question to that. I'm just making that random ranting statement as I go. But that was
No,
just
I,
something I wanted to
I
share.
agree. I agree. I agree. Yeah.
But what was it you wanted to say about a vinyl?
Uh, yeah, I guess I can say I did make this album into a vinyl, which is available for order already. Um, the rest of the artwork, I did have a friend helping me, a designer, proper designer, helping me do all the other bits. But this is the cover of it. It's actually, I went to Amsterdam with a friend, and one of the rooms had like a light exhibition thing, and I just took a picture of my shadow with the lights. So that's what it is.
Well, there you go, folks. And that's the other thing as well. Always very interesting context into some artwork as well. But there you go, folks. Obviously, if you vinyl playing lovers there, and of course, if you are one of those that also likes to collect vinyl records for pieces of art, so to speak, to go in your living room, bar, or like funky cafe or whatever, you can definitely have a gander of this piece of artwork that'll look quite fine in like a hipster cafe thing, near like some vinyl record players or what have you. What was the other question I was going to ask you now? We're going to move back into the writing discussion of the album, and this is something I often think about as well. But when sitting down to write a track, what exactly do you go for? Is it the same every time, or is it the like cliche in the moment thing? What is it you go for?
I fear that I am a cliche. I just kind of go for the moment. It's always different, no? Like sometimes you want to try to make a new or a different drum beat or whatever, and then you end up using it. Or sometimes you just like a melody just pops in your head, and you gotta write it, or hum it to the phone and write it later. Yeah, I'm sorry, it is a bit of a cliche, but it's whatever I feel like in the moment.
Now it's very interesting you mentioned about the melody that comes into your head. Define that and describe it for people who have never describe it to people who have never like had that sensation before.
It's a bit how would I say? I guess sometimes I'm just doing something and then a melody just comes into my head. Maybe I'm already thinking about music. I'm not too sure. And then if you think in your head, you're like, maybe I could do something with that. And you,
Now,
yeah,
here's the other thing, right? Do you see something in your mind's eye when you hear the noise, or is it just something you hear?
I think I just hear it. Yeah, good
Mm.
question. I think I just hear it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because this is I know like I'm all I'm gonna say is I'm no like qualified psychologist, but I often think it's very interesting the to witness the phenomena of I'm gonna sound like a schizophrenic now, but like hearing something in your head. But what I mean, but I don't mean voices. I mean like music. But
music.
the other thing I want to ask actually as well is have you had the same or do you have the similar scenario where you'll go to sleep and you hear things in the middle of the night? I mean, like music in your head.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I've had ideas as I'm falling asleep, and then I'm like troubled. Like, do I get up? Do I just fall asleep and
Oh,
lose this one? Um,
every time, isn't
every
it?
time. Yeah. That's why, you grab your phone and you go to the voice notes and you go la 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 whatever, and then in the morning you decide whether it was actually good or not. I've also Have you ever dreamt of full songs? I've had that happen, especially if I'm working on a lot of music.
I have, however, sometimes the music is just not relevant at all. Like I distinctly remember one dream I had. This was a while ago now. It was probably maybe 2 years ago, but I remember it quite clearly. I literally dreamt of a country song, but I thought I don't really make country music, so this is literally does nothing to me. Like
Fair.
I could almost like hear it again now that I'm talking about it again. But yeah, at the time I was thinking when I woke up, I was like, where on earth does that come from? And also, like, I don't do country music, so I'm just gonna let myself forget that. But at the time, I was like, God, like, I do not want to get into country music. No offense to country music lovers, but it's just not my thing. That's all I can say.
I mean, you could
But
maybe give it to someone else.
yeah, yeah, I could give it to another country folk singer, maybe who's knocking about in the UK. Yeah, let me know if you want. Might have an idea for you. But I will say though, like I'm pretty sure those who have never had the scenario where an idea comes to your head as you're falling asleep and you have that annoying dilemma of trying to decide if the noise you're hearing is really good enough to get yourself out of bed again and go over to your computer and then turn all the shit on and then get your door open, like the program, not the actual door, and then like to like load up a keyboard or plug it in and then get your speakers on and then like you gotta fart around trying to get to the piano or a synth and you're there like trying to hammer out what you are hearing in your head. So you're there like doo, 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 doo. Your neighbors must hate you for stuff like this. I swear to God.
Is this
Um,
a case used for AI? Being able to hum an idea and get it?
maybe, hey, maybe
Yeah.
you might be on something there, but yes, some people are quite lucky, aren't they? That's all I
Mhm.
can say, right, Cam?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that is interesting to know. You are more of an in the moment person. But like the thing is, when you go to sit down, is there not something up here, or is it just more like I'm just gonna touch the keys and see what happens?
I think on the days that I don't have a clear idea, I'll either go through my projects that I'm working on and see if I feel like working on any of them, or
Mm,
I'll do just experiment with something like I said, like do a new drum pattern or use drum sounds that I've never used before and see if something comes out. I find that yeah, experimenting is always a good way to spend your time, and I feel like even if you're uninspired, there's always something to do.
mm,
Like go through your samples or choose a bunch of samples you'd never use and try to make something with that, and accidentally you then get in the moment, so
mm.
yeah.
I will say though, well, maybe might just be me, but I always think a word of caution for stuff like that because I swear I get some form of like I don't know, creative fatigue if I start mucking around with synths. Like, if when you're just
Yeah,
going through them all and you're there just making some noises.
yeah,
Because the thing I always think, something has to stick in order
yeah.
to like get the ball rolling. But like, I don't know why. Like, maybe it's for you as well. But like, I cannot listen to like probably more. I probably can't listen to any more than like maybe 30 cents. After that, I've got complete fatigue and it's dead for me. Whatever I
Yeah.
was gonna do, it's gone. Are you the same, or can you listen to loads?
Some days more than others, but I get fatigue as well. I think it's important to know when you're just not, you're just not in it, or maybe just not that song, or just move on to something else, or just get out of the computer completely and go for a walk or something and come back later. I think it's like, because you think you have to be productive, you just sit there and put yourself through that, and then nothing comes out of it, and you think, what have I been doing for almost an hour, and I'm still listening to presets or whatever.
Right.
There's just no point in it, and I think I've learned to be like, to let go a bit more, and just kind of just write a song, and like, if it's not flowing, it's not flowing, just do something else and be a bit less precious about things like
Mm.
that. um,
Do you think it's
mm.
possible that to actually be like efficient with your time when it comes to making music or getting ideas together, or do you think it just doesn't exist?
Honestly, hard to say.
Like,
I
for
wish.
example, if I
um,
was like, if you were to like, I don't know, come back from work or whatever, and you're like, right, I've got 20 minutes to piss about on my
mhm,
keyboard before I've got to start making my tea or whatever. Do you
mhm.
reckon you could be like, all right, 20 minutes, I'm going to come up with something? Do you think you could do it, or do you think it's more like a yeah? Could you actually put time length constraints to these things, or what do you reckon?
You definitely come up with an idea. It's whether it's good or bad is something else. It's a good challenge. I think, like, do 15, 20 minutes and just write ideas, 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 and then see if anything is actually good. But the scenario you're describing, am I tired from my 9 to 5? Then I think I won't be doing any good thing. So, so I think
Yeah.
it'll be 20 minutes looking at the laptop.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm sorry
yeah.
to say, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a tough one, that is, isn't it? And I will definitely say, and I'm sure you fellow music producers out there listening or watching will get this as well. Is the one thing that will always frustrate me is when like you're working throughout the week or you're doing your shift pattern, whatever it is, and then you've got a day off coming up soon where you've sort of like a few days ahead of time, you're gonna, you're putting yourself as a mental note to be like, right, that day, I'm gonna just work on some music. It may not have to be pre-existing, but I'm just gonna work on some music and just to try and put something together, right?
Hmm.
And then when the day arrives, for whatever reason, you just don't have the mood to do it. You just don't feel like doing it, and you will force yourself because you've told yourself, no, this is your time to do it. And if you don't do it now, you won't have another time to do it. And then you sit down and then nothing happens. How many
Yeah.
times does that happen to you?
In the past, more, but I'd say the last 4 or 5 years, I worked on my relationship with music and productivity, and I think I'm better now. I actually think I force myself less and it comes more naturally. I think it really helped me to learn to enjoy my time as well. I think
Mm,
in when I was younger, I was always like, if I'm not doing something, I'm wasting my days. Whereas now I'm
yeah.
like, I sit down for 3 hours on a Saturday morning and I'm like, this was pretty good. There's another song. Like,
Abundance.
yeah.
Abundance, we call that,
And
right?
yeah, I think it's definitely something about not forgetting to live your life as well, because I don't know. This is not, I don't recommend this for people who need like tight schedules, but I got myself a PlayStation 5 last year finally,
Mm,
and I was like, oh, I'm just going to be playing all the time, whatever. And you know what, I wrote an album and also played so many games, so there is time for for everything. So yeah, I think it helps, like.
Do you know what? I think for anyone else listening, but I actually, as I was listening to that, that actually hit me quite a bit as well because you know something. I've got an Xbox now, and I got it. I forget when I got it now. I got it a few months ago, basically, and I was immediately a bit like I knew I wanted it because I haven't had a console in a very long time, in a
Yeah.
few years it's been. But
Hmm.
I was thinking to myself, I hope I don't like just always just want to play games all the time and I don't make any music anymore. But I can also vouch and say that like whilst I do like playing video games as well, and I have a bit of time for it, not loads, but I still will have time to muck around with music. But very good, very encouraging advice to people there when it comes to sharing of their free time, so to speak. But I just want to quickly ask you, just going back to the album, when you decided that you were going to do an album which is same but different, um, now that you've sort of had it released and you know it's all out there in the open now, is it how you sonically envisaged it at the right at the beginning, or is it completely different at the end?
It. I don't think it is actually. I don't know what I was going for when I started. I think.
Really?
I think I just wanted. I think initially I had very low expectation, and I was just like, just gonna put a bunch of songs together. I have so many. Somehow I never made an album after all these years. Just gonna put a bunch of songs together, and then as I wrote them, and as I realized, like you asked me before, how did you decide which tracks go together and the order of them? I became more and more like, okay, no, this one goes with this one and this one, and that one has to be for something else. And
Mm.
because you when you start seeing the project growing and you see I'm actually doing this now, you start to be a bit more like precious about the songs. Like you just
Yes. Yeah.
like I'm doing all this work, at least it has to sound cohesive. So yeah, I think in the beginning I wasn't sure what I was going. I just knew I wanted to do an album, and then I figured out through the process.
Yeah, and really, yeah, it's probably a good way to go because obviously, if you had your own strict sort of guidelines or criteria that what you want, you'd probably be tearing your hair out about it, like you know if you're not meeting it, so to speak. Do you
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
I had this list of things I wanted to try to do in songs and fit them into the album, and I think I did some of them.
Yeah.
Like I definitely wanted to use more piano and try to do like solos. They're not really solos, but like they're pretty okay. I'm not a pianist by all means, but I was very inspired by Barry Can Swim, so it was
Oh,
like,
really?
yeah, using a lot of piano like he does. And so yeah, there was things I wanted to try, and then the things that worked I used, and the things that didn't, they just they'll be for something else. Mm.
Yeah, and yeah, I can see that to be fair because yeah, it because I will definitely say that I'm sure there will be people out there right now who are either in the process of making an album or they are about to finish or they've just got started. But I think though those if you are in that situation, um, Kat, what are you saying to them essentially?
What am I saying to people doing an album?
You
I'd say
shit and don't bother.
no, it's no, you should definitely do it. I think albums are important. I think for you personally, like to see your own evolution musically, it's really nice. It's really nice to try new things and see if they stick together. um, I really enjoyed it, and I think it's nice to say like I made an album. Like, I don't know, that was my thing. I wanted to make an album. I thought, I'm making music for so many years, why the hell do I not have an album? Like that's
Mm.
actually ridiculous. And that's something like, it's your own win, you know. At least do it for yourself to say you've done it, you know.
Well, yeah, that's it, and it is almost like yeah, it is a milestone because it's the same thing as like those who will I don't know compose or whatever, or you know yeah, like people of that nature, they'll, you know, if you've never made a symphony, do you know what I mean? Like making a symphony is very, very rare. Like not many people make symphonies nowadays.
Yeah,
And that is a big, well, song that's kind of like an album.
yeah.
But
Even a musical. Like, there's
yeah,
not many
a
people that
musical
can
as
write a
well.
musical. You have to think of the story, the characters, the songs, the like. It's insane. Like, it's way more than just an album.
And
Um,
actually, do you know something? That is a perfect way to slide into my next and last question, just about music. And this is yeah, this is a real conceptual question. But if you were to perform this album live,
mm.
how would you present and perform it? Go.
I haven't thought about that at all.
Oh,
I
come on,
think,
cat.
I do like, and you know this from when we originally met. Like, I do like the live side of an electronic performance. So I'm really trying to get better at piano.
Mm,
So I would try to perform the solos in the songs, maybe some effects and things like that. So I would definitely try still electronic, still a bit like kind of a DJ set of my own music, but still live if possible.
mm.
Ableton push, piano, something like that.
I can sort of see that now. Yeah, sort of like you got like a. Would you say like how can I best describe this? Because I know there are some acts like
Like
Anina,
disclosure.
like Disclosure, eh?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Because if you're, I remember this from years ago, like 2013 when they were performing live. They actually had those like virtual drum pad things that they
yeah,
were like, "Doo, doo, 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 doo,
yeah.
doo." And I thought that's so cool because like it's almost reminds me of like kids drum things. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? But like it just
yeah.
sort of brought the fun of it back again. Do you know what I
And
mean?
I actually saw Barry Can Swim at, was it Lido or was it one of the festivals in London this last summer, and he had
Okay.
basically a band and a small, not orchestra, but it was a few like violin players, and so, and I thought that's like, I think that's maybe the type of electronic music I like, where it's kind of hybrid with real instruments. I think it everything else is like synthesized and perfect, and so
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that as well because there is often that sort of like discussion between when you see a DJ live, like how live is it? Because if they're just mixing like from A
yeah,
to B or one to two, three, or four, fair enough. But then if they are and always have been a DJ, then you sort of are seeing them live, but they're playing their own tracks that are pre-recorded. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
the balance between live and or actually literally playing an instrument. But say if you were on a stage, for example, one of the festivals we were just referring to earlier on in the show, Forbidden Kingdom in Florida. Say if they booked you, which I hope they do, but if they book you for that, and you've got a bit of a budget to like create something on your stage. Now, obviously, you've got a wee table where you got like an Ableton push and you got a keyboard and all that stuff. How would your live performance look visually? What are you adding to this stage for this live performance?
definitely visuals for all the songs. Definitely, I mean, the lights and stuff.
Mm.
Uh, I wouldn't do much more than that initially. I think it would be cool to have a bit of, sometimes people do like a personalized desk, like it has lights in it, or maybe a logo or
Yes.
something. That would be really cool because then as well it's easy to take out and put back together rather than like we did, like here's my computer, here's my interface, and then my keyboard, and then my this and my that. So that would be ideal. Yeah,
Yeah, like for example, I remember years ago again, I saw Teed, or his long name is totally enormous extinct dinosaurs, and one
yeah,
of the things he had, which I thought was brilliant, was he'd have his Wii table in the middle. It was sort of like a C shape, and he would be stood there in a costume as well. Why not? But then you'd have like sort of like they look like the scales of a dinosaur, obviously, and there were like three of them, like sort of behind, so to speak, and they would
That's
sort of like
cool.
flash in between. And it was one of those where it's like you don't really see that nowadays, but it's just a nice touch, so to speak. But
Yeah.
you, as you mentioned, what would you say? Like, I don't know, maybe like a big LED screen at the back with
Yeah.
preloaded visuals, but visuals representing each track.
Yeah. Definitely
Mm.
things like lots of colors, maybe like universe inspired, and lift off, and um
Well, yeah, I can
so
definitely imagine like lift off. Obviously, you'd have to go for it and have like strobe flashing lights,
yeah,
and then like a
spaceship.
rocket. Oh, like you can just see it, can't you? Absolutely.
Yeah,
But like, what would you do for Get Me High?
that has to be a fun one. That has to be uh maybe dancers. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe. What
Yeah,
would you say?
screen
Well,
full of like marijuana or something like
oh
that.
my god. No. It just happened to say that. I didn't
People would
mean
look and
for
be
it
like,
to be.
"Oh, that's what this is about." Smoke some got some good stuff.
I didn't mean for it to be about that. That's just what the sample says.
Oh.
Sorry to disappoint.
I tell you what, hey, I tell you what would be a really interesting one would be My Girl, My World. That'd
Mm,
be I'm sure that you could well obviously you wouldn't go full cliche with Love Hearts, but like
mm,
yeah, that I think that would be an interesting visual as well in the background.
yeah. I
Yeah,
really like
or
the piano on that one too. Yeah, that would be fun to
yeah,
play. Mm,
even visuals like that of like a like some sort of like a dancing piano thing that like lights up with all the different keys or something like that. I'm just giving you some ideas. If anyone wants to do
thanks.
that.
Yeah, I'm enjoying the brainstorming session. It's making me want to do it.
Yeah,
So
well, I mean, I'm just sort of prepping you if anyone comes to say, right, we need, we've got a budget, we need to create a live performance here, and yeah, this is what you could do. In closing, I've got a few questions for you, just in regards to. Oh wait, do you know what? I've actually got a question here about the album, but I don't know why I've put it in personal questions. Which, yeah, I'm not sure why I've done that. But this other question, I'll just quickly ask, just whilst we're wrapping up. In the build-up to the album release, how were you feeling about it? Were you feeling excited, relieved, or a bit nervous or scared? What were your initial feelings about it?
I was just happy that I've done it. No expectations whatsoever. No, like I was excited. I've made an album, but I was mostly, to be honest, I was so busy with life, as you know, that I was just like, I know it's coming out in January, but right now I've got all these other things to do.
Mm,
Um, but I keep trying to, like, yeah, I'm just happy that I've done it. That was my personal goal. Everything else is a plus. Mm,
I see. Do you know? I actually think the way that you've come about making the album is probably the best way anyone should approach their first album.
mm,
Decrease their expectations. Don't have a criteria. Go for the goal of just making an album. Do not have any expectations about how it's going to go in the end, but just get to the finish line
yeah,
of an album.
yeah.
In your opinion, the definition between EP and album, where does that sit with you in terms of the amount of tracks?
I think EP I would do as many as 6 tracks, and then album is anything above that.
So album would be 6 plus.
Yeah,
Ah, okay. I'm not actually sure. I'm assuming there is some form of definition between EP and album, but like, yeah, just to sort of uh, give some clarity. So if there's any poor folks out there that has just done 6, they're now probably thinking, "Oh God, I've got to do another one." So it's an album. Oh
just do
God.
an intro and an outro, and that's it.
Yeah, let's just throw in a quick like piano solo, and it can be a wee interlude or something like that. You
Mm,
know what I mean? Um, in closing, just whilst I've got the album up as well, um, obviously, you finished same but different. What are the next things? What are the next things what are the next thing? I'm sorry, I'm reading my question. I think I've written it right. What are the next things you are going to work on? Oh no, that makes sense, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yeah. What are the next things
Um,
you're going to work on, Kat?
yeah, I've been writing definitely. I am doing long long form social media, so YouTube. I'm putting a bit of effort into that. Again, no expectations, but I feel like it's a really good place to just see your growth as an artist, as a producer, and it's a good way to share as well. Um, so I'm still on the like kind of semi promoting time of the album, but I have been writing as well, and I've been doing a lot of pop music, hopefully for other people too. Um,
Mm,
I am a commercial kind of person, so I like a good pop music challenge, which, as people say, is harder than you think.
yeah.
So yeah, but I definitely maybe thinking about another album. We'll see. Yeah,
Oh God, you've heard
it
it
was
now, folks.
it was so fun to do this one though, and um, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Mm.
Well, we love that. I'll just quickly, I'll before I ask the question because it's rather specific, but I've got here to ask you that you have recently moved. Before I mention from where and to where, do you want me to share that, or would you prefer to keep that private? It's completely up to you.
Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, as long as it's
Okay.
generalized. So
Well, yeah. I
yeah.
mean, Christ, I'm not going to give you that out the address. Don't worry. I don't know anyway.
No, no,
Um,
only joking.
but essentially, you have recently moved away from London,
Hmm.
UK, not Canada, to New York City.
Yeah.
How are you adjusting to life over there in closing?
Yeah, it's great. I'm really happy here. I'm enjoying meeting a lot of people, trying to network. It's been snowing. It's actually snowing right now, so it's really lovely. At least to be
Wow.
at home. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, there's definitely a good vibe here. Yeah,
Have you developed a New Yorker accent yet? You're still working on that, are you?
I spent so many years in the UK and I didn't develop a UK accent, so
For God's sake.
I don't
Yeah,
think
you're not sounding like me and Dave from up north. No, no.
no,
No, no. Well, the
no.
funny thing is, I'm not even from Yorkshire. I'm from near Liverpool, so
Liverpool.
my accent flippy flops all over the place.
Mhm.
Just quickly as well, just before we finish, have you tried out any of the New York City nightlife yet, and or any of the live music spots?
I've not, but I'm planning to soon. Yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
met
no.
someone who knows a lot of DJs, so yeah,
Mm. Yeah, it's the best way, and of course, obviously, because you have only just moved over there, obviously, you're not going to be like going out straight away unless it's you're fully settled over there. But
yeah.
um, one thing we can mention, obviously, this is what we highlighted quite significantly in the previous episodes, is just about Brooklyn Mirage. Don't know whether you were aware of it as well, but it was a huge outdoor space. It has now closed down permanently, but Albert's Hall, no, not Albert's Hall. God, I can't, no, Great Hall and Webster Hall, it might be called, or the Big Hall. I forget what it is now. But for those in New York, apart from UCAP, but like unless you know as well, let us know or remind me of what they were again. But they are some great spots to go out to. Are there anything on your list of places to try yet?
No, I'm afraid not. But there is a few cool places around where I live that do allow you to do DJ sets. So I'm gonna start with that. So
Really?
yeah,
Oh, I love
um,
that.
some are linked to radios, some are record your own session kind of thing. So I'm gonna
Um,
go there and see what's going on. Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. And I tell you what, again, I think essentially what you've done is you've moved from one melting pot to the other, really, haven't you?
yeah.
In terms of cultural and music and so on and so on. Um, before, well, as part of the wrapping up process, let me just provide everyone with a wee bit of an ending statement. But if people want to stream/download the album, same but different, they can do so by visiting bandcamp.com and searching for The Last of Cat, all as one word, and looking for same but different. Alternatively, you can enter this into your browser, the lastofcat.bandcamp.com. Cat is also the last of cat.music on Instagram and at the last of cat on YouTube. For further sounds and similar sounds to Cat, you can also look up Cat's Spotify playlist known as The Last of Cat, and you can look up that and more through her link tree, which is linktr.ee/ the last of cat.music. Have I got everything there for your socials and everything?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Banging. And yeah, and I guess some of the other things we'll just quickly mention before we finish. That you can order a vinyl for the album, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so if someone orders it, they're gonna get that within like how many days?
It's probably 2-3 weeks because it's print on demand. So.
Oh,
Yeah.
right. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, there you go, folks. So, yeah, for any of you vinyl loving people out there as well, highly recommend getting the debut album, Last of Cat, same but different, because it's got some banging colors on it as well as a wee bit of art as well. And just quickly as well, before we finish as well, as mentioned, Cat is also on YouTube as well at The Last of Cat. Just quickly, briefly mention again what is on your YouTube channel and why should people subscribe, and do it in about 20 seconds. Go.
Yeah, I'm sharing the production for all the songs of this album, but I'm planning also to do just production stuff of other songs, or questions people have, or even challenges. Yeah.
Brilliant. And I tell you what, I'm not to shit on Dan or anything, but bloody hell, like if I ask him to do something brief, he never is. He tells us the whole story of the world before he gets to this point. But yeah, you've done that remarkably well.
Thank you.
But that is more or less it, everyone. Let's